On this Food City Friday, we want to welcome Kirby Moir, your registered dietitian with Food City, to the Daytime Kitchen. And you know, coming up tomorrow is Earth Day. Yes.
That's
right. And in celebration, you're going to show us some earth-friendly recipes.
Yes, I'm going to talk a little bit about some brands today that I love from Food City that kind of support that sustainable message. Or maybe you're doing some special things we don't really know about as consumers, which is fun to know.
Well, where are we going to get started?
We are going to start today making a green driven flatbread.
Okay.
And this is featuring Organic Girl greens, which I am like a hype girl for Organic Girl. They are awesome. The quality of their greens is really great. They are organic, they are triple wash, but what is also really neat is that their packaging is actually made from 5 recycled water bottles.
Right here.
Yep, and you can actually recycle that too, which is phenomenal. So you're getting a great product, but then you get to know too, they're thinking about the full system of that sustainability. So to start making this flatbread today, we're using a non-flatbread.
Love non-bread.
Yes, and I'm going to give a couple different options for how you can make this plant-based using just, you know, if you're vegetarian, only want to do plant-based ingredients. So these naans actually have 13 grams of protein, which is great, and that's almost the equivalent of having like 2 eggs. So I've started with my Organic Girls greens over here, and then I'm going to add a little bit of shredded Brussels sprouts. I'm using our basket and bushel. You know, you could shred your own Brussels sprouts at home if you wanted to, but this is a just really convenient option.
Right, and you could almost, if you didn't have Brussels sprouts on hand, you had some cabbage, you could shred up some cabbage.
100%, yeah. And then I'm actually going to do some sliced apples in there. And then to mix up together, we're going to use balsamic vinegar, a little bit of Dijon mustard, and then I actually used avocado oil. And this is another really great sustainable brand. This is 100% avocado oil, and oftentimes we see a blend or a mixture in some of our oils. This is going to be straightforward with that, and that's again an organic based avocado. So you're going to want to dress your greens and your apple there.
Ooh, look how rich that was.
I know, it's beautiful, right? And then we're going to want to blend that all together. I was joking with Chris before. I said, Chris, I'm going to be fine until they zoom in on the hands, and then, you know, who knows what starts happening there when you start mixing. But you're just going to top that on your naan. And then what I like to actually do before this goes in the oven.
Here you go.
Yeah, thank you. We can use our hands a little bit today.
I'm your sous chef today.
That's right, if you wanted to go just completely plant-based, you're actually going to want to use some white beans. I chose to do navy beans, and what is really cool, these will get crispy and crunchy and actually kind of like expand into this really crisp bite. It's going to give us some soluble fiber. It's going to give us a little bit of protein. Now, if you didn't want to go plant, you wanted to add a little bit of kind of meat there, you could do goat cheese and then prosciutto on top.
Oh, I love goat
as well. So what you actually are going to do, you would pop this in the oven for about 10 minutes at 400, and when it comes out and it's warm, you're going to top with some goat cheese, and then you're also going to place some prosciutto on top if you wanted to kind of go
get a little salty bite on there as well.
That's right. You know, and I think too, we talk about eating a flexitarian style, which means focusing more on plant forward. You can still include meat into your diet. You don't have to be exclusively vegetarian there. And then we also finish up with some walnuts.
And the goat cheese, bringing that dairy component in, because you need some dairy.
Yes, and I have my finished product up here, because this looks pretty veggie heavy. Those veggies, when you let them cook, they're actually going to caramelize down. And then you're actually going to want to take that dressing we made earlier and drizzle at the end. And I also will say, recycled jam jar this morning, you know. We're really focusing on thinking about the environment there. That's another great way to be
remember
sustainable.
Those jam and jelly jars, when you get them, just wash them and keep using them.
That's right,
Exactly.
So that's kind of our first focus here. So we're using that Organic Girl as our base. We're getting some more protein from our whole grain base, which is fantastic. And then we're infusing that flavor there with a plethora of veggies coming in.
I like that word, plethora.
Yeah, that's right.
Absolutely. Hey, folks, it's Eco-Friendly Recipes with Kirby Moir, your registered dietitian with Food City. If you would like to find out about everything that we're showing here on the show today, I encourage you to go to foodcity.com.